Hello everyone, welcome to this. It is the roundtable once more. And welcome to Friday night. Thank you so much for your patience. And if you have been able to watch it, I hope you enjoyed the Mario Kart Dragon Ball video I put out earlier today. But today, we're talking about Dragon Ball What Ifs at the moment on the weekly What If Roundtable. I am joined by Haverock as always.
Hello.
And unfortunately, Sophie can't be with us today, but, you know, she is physically all right, but the earth under her decided to yeet itself to sleep. So there was an earthquake in her area, so she was a little bit shaken, understandably. So she's going to take some rest to try and catch up. I mean, I remember last year being in LA when there was that earthquake, those two earthquakes, about like 5 on the Richter scale. I'd never been in an earthquake before, and that was terrifying. So I was a little baby in that regard. So yeah, hashtag semi-relatable. So yeah, so she's taking today off. But yeah, you still got Haverock and myself, and we've got a lot of what ifs to look at right now so far. For those of you who don't,
what and a lot of ifs. Sorry.
yeah, some like a why, the old what meme. So basically, yeah, so if you're new to the channel, the What If Roundtables are basically where we get to share your what if suggestions. Haverock is always looking at the chat, so even if you aren't able to do a super chat, which is the best way to get your what ifs there, because we have a list, and it's a good way to support the channel at the same time. But we always pay attention, so you never know. Your what if may become a video, or something you suggested may wind up in a video. So do pay attention to that. Let's get the likes up by 100 during the stream, so let's get to 100 likes for this stream. But let's get things rolling with Paparazzi's suggestion of what if Chi-Chi was Bulma and Tights' sister? This is a different one. I've not really seen this one before. Yep. But at the same time, I could see it working because you got Tights, who's the, you know, exploratory, aloof eldest sister. Bulma's the middle child who's overcompensating, not wanting to be overlooked, and Chi-Chi's the kind of like loud one who's the most gets the most attention.
I mean, clearly, you know, her desire of Gohan's education would be even more based, since, you know, she would come from a very educated family. Or quite on, you know, on the opposite spectrum, she might rebel against the Saiyan-ness.
Yeah,
because like both of her sisters and her father are, you know, very science savvy, and maybe in this timeline she would be less of a, you know, science. Maybe she would be more of a warrior, and maybe that it would, you know, make the relationship between her and Goku and later with Gohan much different. That's a pretty interesting prospect.
it's a good idea. I mean, it's certainly worth thinking. And Podo is basically saying, why don't you just play the sound? I mean, like, oof for certain thing, but it's not that clear cut. But speaking of Podo, we have the first of quite a few actually. So Podo suggests, what if Master Roshi was a teacher at UA? So I personally say she'd be one of those ones that, yeah, one of those teachers that even All Might is very apprehensive about. Like, just, you know, I don't want to be anywhere near that one. You know, last time I was, it's like, oh, I don't want to even think about it. So, but you're All Might. You're basically not afraid of anything. You say that, you know, that's a strong word, always. I imagine she'd be the one that I get that vibe of Prison School. You know, the silver-haired one character. I've not watched Prison School, but you know the one I'm talking about. Just that one who's dominating and always very assertive and always kind of the one that's overbearing and very, like, makes everyone really scared. I think that one. So that kind of mystique, but not a good kind of mystique, almost. No. But Podo's back in with another one. What if the reason we haven't seen Launchin Z was because she became Shin's wife and possibly had a kid with him? How would Zamasu react to this? Okay.
I'm sorry, that's a new one.
That's a new one.
That's a new one, yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, Shin could do with someone that is a bit more forceful. It might actually make him step up more.
Yeah. But the kid, like, Kais don't breed like that, and we are not sure if like they are born from roots. So I'm not even sure they have the vital parts to create, offspring.
And I can imagine like Launch making loads of jibes at him. It's like, oh, that's.
And,
He's
yeah.
like, so you're made out of some kind of fruit? Do you like go off from the inside or something? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
well, you know what they say, girls gotta have a 5 a day. It's like Shin's like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize mortals could be so forceful and forward.
Yeah. Also, one important thing to remember: Kais don't form family units.
No, they're more. It's more based around a friendship.
You
model
don't have
almost.
you don't you don't have baby Kais basically. They like when you got a Kai popping up from a tree, it's they are fully formed.
Essentially, yeah. Okay. But how Zamasu was react to this? Not well. I play the
Not
sound,
well.
but that's too obvious. Next one is the Jurassic Show. What if the Red Ribbon Army found Goku's space pod? Eventually, once the hard drive spot. It's a Friday. My computer's getting a little bit like, oh, it's a Friday feeling. But come on, there we go.
If they mean only space pod, they can get some really interesting technology out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly can get like a little bit more stuff. Oh, I've just turned up your mic, by the way. Apparently you were a little quiet, but it still would not play well for Goku because it would only delay the inevitable. Gero would be distracted for a little bit with the spacepod technology, but eventually he'll then realize, oh, the kid inside. Ooh, okay. Would not end well. We've always said that.
But if only pod, because without Goku, technology still would be quite bad.
Yeah, it would still be very iffy, certainly.
I wonder what Grandpa Gohan did with that pod. Like, this is one of the biggest
Yeah.
questions in the canon. What did he just left it there?
I think they did just leave it there because Goku's pod was the thing that projected the moon.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just left it. He was just like, oh my, there's this kind of pod here from space. All right, I'll just leave it. Doesn't really mean anything to him. But yeah.
Derpy derpy derp. I'm an old man. Derpy derpy derp.
Podo's next. What if Goku and Krillin did that idea he had in DBZA where they stick a wig on Krillin and have him sub in for Goku, possibly resulting in Goten either having a twin or being a chimera? Well, you know, I will take one for the team. I mean, come on, he's my best friend. But if they did, then I don't know. Goku wouldn't be that bothered, but I don't think he'd be that willing to, like, I don't know. I mean, he wouldn't know about Goten, but he'd be thinking, say, well, that's weird. My son doesn't have a nose. You know, and has a propensity to dig. Is he an earthworm? Earthworm Goten.
Yep.
And Chimera is a real life thing that happens where 2 fertilized eggs merge in the womb. So it's like, a chimera. So basically, it's like, basically, oof, that's really.
Oh.
Let's just say part earthworm. There we go. End of.
Yeah.
Jurassic Show. What if the Saiyan had a language like the Klingons? Would it be called Sayago or Root vegetables. Sorry for asking such a needlessly in-depth question. No. That's a good question. I mean, to be honest, in a lot of sci-fi, I think it's safe to assume that a lot of races do have their own language. It's just like how they do with the TARDIS to explain why everyone speaks English.
Or, you have universal translators implanted at birth or something.
Yeah, or the Babel fish or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there you go. So, so for all we know, they could easily be like that. I mean, the Scouters, for a start, the Scouters could be the same language written down. Because they're localized and the Scouters are, something like that. Or it could be like an international language of the Freezer Force. So you never know. It could be, derived. There's a lot of stuff that we don't necessarily know, but it's a good question.
I still think that they have some sort of translators because we can hear that low-tech Namekians are speaking in their own language. So so other languages exist. It just that like they also happen to know the let's call it galactic basic language. So We don't know.
The galactic standard, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's good though. Jurassic's back again. What if all the universes in Tournament of Power from made potara fusions from their fighters fight after Kefla? Well, it would depend if they actually had that many potara earrings to go around, but I guess maybe it would just be the same, but just with fewer fighters.
Yeah, I mean everyone has a Kai, so technically every universe can create a pair.
Yeah.
One fused fighter.
It's just a case of that if they had enough. So basically,
I don't think Universe 3 would do it.
No, because technically a lot of them are robots, so that wouldn't really work.
And they already can fuse, so they don't need it.
And we got that almost thing from Universe 2 when they fused, but then that it got broken, so it was like nope. So it was like Dragon Ball teased us and was like nope. Okay, you're getting Kefla and that's it. Brendan's next with what if we got the TFL Cell Games halftime show featuring a Cell Yamcha duet of Cat Loves Food? I think people would forget that the Earth is about to be blown up, so they'd actually feel a little bit there'd be a bit morale boost in a way. So I think it could be good morale in a way. I like that. So Yamcha would feel very much included.
Yep.
Master Riku. What if Goku was found by the Satan family? Well, if he was, he'd probably be like the whipping boy of the family, and like Mark will probably just treat him like a dog's body.
I mean, I don't know. Like this is a very complex question because if you ask Satan, I think you mean Mark, Hercule, and not Master Satan. I don't think like he would treat him badly per se.
But would very much assert the bigger brother mentality.
Yeah. I think they would actually get along, and maybe like in our Boxa scenario, like maybe Mark would go a different path of martial arts, maybe even train with Roshi at some point. If they found Roshi somehow, like Goku is crazy strong. So on when you compare him to Mark, even though he doesn't look that impressive at first. So at first maybe there might be some sort of resentment, but at some point they may actually go and look for a mentor, and they may come across Roshi or Master Shen.
Okay, well, no, that's perfectly fair. So, but I think Mark would lead the adventure, certainly. Alright, next up is from Darren Hardy. Thank you very much, sir. What if Bardock was picked up by the Galactic Patrol after somehow surviving Planet Vegeta blowing up, and works with them to get revenge on Frieza with or without memory loss? So if Bardock is picked up, well, I imagine he would probably be detained because, the Saiyans did commit a lot of crimes on behalf of the Frieza Force, so I imagine they would either have some kind of plea bargain that basically would commute his sentence to something lower if he was able to provide valuable information about the Frieza Force. But you gotta remember, the Galactic Patrol, they are a lot of pen pushers in there, especially Jarko. So I imagine probably...
and they remember that they wouldn't have any proof that he did what he did. They could pick him up, but they wouldn't necessarily know that, I stood against Frieza, I'm a good guy. For them, it's just a dirty, evil Saiyan.
Which is just another example of them, so...
Yeah.
It'd be a good thing for them to go like, well, at least we got one of them. Or something like that. Paparacha. What if both Piccolos took an interest in improving the Satan Dojo because they were weakening their brand? No, I don't know a better way to phrase it. So both Piccolos, like Piccolo Jr. and King Piccolo.
Senior, yeah.
Well, basically, if it was be almost like, they assumed that the Satan Dojo was the most strongest dojo in the world, and they decided to throw in some of the kind of their Markai learnings into it. So
I think what was meant in the question is that Satan and Demon. That
right, of course. So basically, that sounds like a Toriyama thing. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. So basically, it's like with Toriyama. So it'd be like there would be a thing that basically King Piccolo would basically say, oh, the Satan Dojo is the biggest threat to my empire. This needs to be destroyed. And then he sends his children there, and they're just a bunch of people who make loads of excuses, and it's just like, what? It'd be a good comedic moment, certainly.
I mean, he could try to improve it. He like King Piccolo would probably destroy it. Piccolo Junior could probably try to train them.
Yeah,
and it would be not nice for those involved.
No, that's true. Viper Phoenix, what if they discovered the Namek Dragon Balls could do multi-wishes, and Frieza, in a good mood, tried to convince the Z-Fighters to let him have immortality, if he let them use one wish to bring the gang back? Well, they would have to probably do the wish very quickly and say it quickly before, like, they could just go, like, they make one wish, and then they say, our last wish is for you to get rid of Frieza's immortality. It is done. What? It's like, you basically got to rub it in Frieza's face, and then, Krillin's like, whoop, 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 whoop. They just run away. Frieza left with no immortality. But that
always summon tarantulas on Frieza.
Oh, infinite tarantulas. No, you didn't. You severely ticked him off. That was fun to do. Alright. But in reality, if they did do that, I imagine probably they would try and pull a fast one. They would have to try and do anything to try and buy them some time, or at least make sure that Frieza didn't get immortality, so in all seriousness. Hunt 2120, what if it was revealed that Icarus was actually Shenron in mortal form? It could explain why he's so close to the Son family. Or it's like, baby Shenron. Icarus is the Godzuki to Shenron's Godzilla.
Oh no.
Shenron, and Icarus.
Oh no.
That doesn't make it any better. That Icarus was a weird thing. Like, Gohan, you can fly. Like, I really want to... I wonder if there is an interview about somebody who asked about Icarus, but I imagine that Toriyama would say, what? You just go, I don't remember that. But if it was, that would actually be a really cool idea. Like, Shenron, when the Dragon Balls activate him, is this mighty dragon. But then in Icarus, that's his usual form, which he is able to observe and watch over humanity. So, like, that could be interesting.
I much more like the idea that Icarus would be still alive and would grow into an adult dragon. We got this idea out of one of our round tables, and Gohan would have an actual big purple dragon.
Yeah. No, that could be really good. Next one is from Master Riku. Pull the lever, Kakarot! Wrong lever! That was a voice request there. Akima Ryu. Hello everyone, hope you're all having a beautiful a beautiful day. Well, thank you, Akima. What if Vegeta managed to keep his main powers? I could see him using it as a temporary power boost, something like the Kaio-ken, but with mental drawbacks. So if he kept his main powers, like, I don't know what he means by that.
Margin powers.
Oh, margin powers. Okay, that was a typo. If he kept his margin powers, well, it would just been a power boost, really. Power boost. Probably like demonic things, because a lot of his powers were just the same. The margin powers is essentially just having, like, it was just made him stronger. Stronger and less restraint. But if the power boost that he got from the margin form was kept, that could have been a good leveler. Like, it could have actually put Goku and Vegeta on an even playing field, at least in Super Saiyan 2. So that could have actually addressed the balance in a way and made, like, them both very important in the final fight. Certainly. Chrome Bison. What if Zamasu was a deified mortal rather than a Kaio-shin? Its animosity of mortals stemmed from disgust towards its... Oh, okay, I like this. Yeah. Like, ugh, I hate mortals. #relatable. Yeah, now I just want to see, like, Zamasu in a t-shirt with, like, I hate mortals instead of I hate Mondays.
Yeah.
Just, with a cup of Kaio-shin coffee. Cafe Shin. And basically... But in a way, that would actually be a lot more like... That would be like, oh, so that's why he doesn't like mortals. He used to be one. So it's like he is jaded by his own kind or former kind. I like that.
Yep.
That could be a good discussion topic, actually.
Yeah.
Let's make a note of it. Yep. Alright, Podo. 17's reaction is Cell went for 18 first. Troll 2 reference. He's eating her, and then he's going to eat me. Oh my god! That's whack. I do like that, though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, with 17, that's really cute, though, I will say. But I feel like...
For 18, less cute.
18 wouldn't see the funny side of it. She'd be just seeing a lot of, tail end trails.
Oh.
But I can imagine if 17 was like there, he'd probably just go ballistic. Like 18 at least tried to be rational and get 16 out of there, even though he just got comfortable. But I can imagine things being a bit more bombastic. But I can imagine like 18, like the semi-perfect Cell with 18 inside would have probably been a bit more like kind of like playing 17 in a way, being a bit more kind of like manipulative.
Yeah, more strategizing.
Yeah, certainly. Matthew Hunt, what if Boo was sealed earlier by Babidi, and what emerged from the cocoon was Kid Boo? Would the amount of energy needed to release him be more? What if Kid Boo did emerge? Well, okay, I'm playing the sound first of all. Because Kid Boo, pure chaos, there wouldn't be any chance for Hercule to be able to, temper him down.
No.
In terms of
and
power,
yeah,
though,
I think more power needed to awaken him.
Yeah, you'd need more power, but in terms of overall power compared to Majin Buu, Kid Boo's not much stronger. Like, not as much stronger as you think. Like, probably like 25% more powerful than Good Boo, maybe, or Majin Buu when you first see him. So but if he did, then that's the end of the planet. Like Babidi would be like, Babidi would just yeet out of there and the entire planet would be destroyed before anyone knew what was going on. The Buu saga would be much shorter, let's just say that. Okay. Next one is from Masariku. What if there was a level called Hyper Saiyan? What powers do you think such a level would have? Like, do they sacrifice brute strength or faster speed? What do you think such a level will include? I don't know. If it was Hyper, it would be all speed. Like, because you have Super Saiyan Grade 3. That's like all about pure muscle. I imagine Hyper Saiyan would probably be something like, white hot hair. Like, even like pretty much almost brilliant white.
Or maybe Sonic Blue.
Sonic Blue.
Yeah, like Sonic might have taken Super Saiyan from Dragon Ball, then the other way around.
Hyper Saiyan against Frieza. You! How are you still alive? I have no idea! Right, but Hyper Saiyan, I can imagine that being pure speed. I love speedy characters. Like, any build I do in a game or anything like that, I always stack it in agility, min-maxing in that regard. Yeah, and that's pretty much what a lot of Sparking Joy was all about. Having something that was basically like something from Fist of the North Star in terms of like really fluid motion, but devastating power, that kind of stuff. So definitely that, I would say definitely speed. Red Dragon Force 2? 2 times in a row. 2 Fridays in a row? Really? Yeah, I know, Red Dragon. That was not supposed to happen, though. Basically, yesterday, Philly's work had a little kind of quiz to, like, boost morale and stuff like that, and my skills were needed. We did very well. We came joint third. We were 2 points off winning. So we had, like, it was like a little pub quiz or a trivia quiz. So I was required. So it was good. It was good fun, though. Definitely boosted morale. So, yeah, today, this change was not intentional. Gingerbeard31. What if the Red Ribbon Army were good? Well, I mean, if they were certainly good, they would probably be... At most, I don't think they would be like truly like a benevolent company. At the very least, they would be evil, but through legal means. Like, they would do hostile takeovers of companies. There'd still be that rivalry between them and Capsule Corp, though. Because conflicting interests. So I think that'd be that. But it would just be a bit more It'd be something you'd find in Mad Men almost. Like something like it'd be just like more kind of corporate drama instead of, you know, fighty drama.
And you could have individual good members if you have some like Gero. Some of the commanders could be good, you know.
Yeah, something along those lines, certainly. Let us see. Brendan Little, what if Dragon Ball used TFS Goku's names for transformations, like with Super Saiyan becoming a blooper Saiyan? You know. And this form I like to call Blue Raspberry. It's like, what? Kakarot, it's Super Saiyan Blue. It's like, yeah, I know. It's just whenever I look at my hair, it just reminds me of that, and I just make me, oh, I'm icy right now. It's like, because I'm ice cold. But something along those lines.
No, that would be my father.
Ah, yes. But I am a bit sad that I never get to go, and this is a Super Saiyan, and this is a Super Duper Saiyan, and this is a Super D-Duper Saiyan. A Super D-Duper Saiyan is Super Saiyan 3. I'm very sad I never get to do that, though. Red Dragon Force, this, Havrog, this seems like something you'd be able to tackle. What if Hordak Prime and the Horde were in Universe 2? How would Goku and the Z Fighters interact with and handle them?
Oh my god. That's a new one.
I'll play the sound, yeah.
I'm sorry, that's a new one.
There you go. Thoughts?
Okay.
Well, it's very, very rare that you're able to stump Havrog in these ones.
Yeah, Hordak Prime and the Horde. Hordak Prime is from She-Ra, so I'm not that familiar with She-Ra, with current She-Ra's lore, but basically, like if they entered, you know, recently, there would be rivalry between them and Frieza Force. That's for sure, because you know, galactic overlords and stuff. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not totally up with my She-Ra role, but She-Ra lore. But I imagine even like Frieza having to team up with the Saiyans against them, because Frieza hates competition.
Yes.
And I think in this case, he would be a little bit outnumbered with his current state of his empire. That's how I could see it.
Yeah, just a little bit, certainly.
So, Galactic Emperor fights.
Certainly. And Red Dragon's back at it again with 10 Sensor. What if Chi-Chi started training again after Piccolo took Gohan and became a Z-Fighter that way? Joins the trip to Namek at the latest IMO. Well, if Chi-Chi decided to do it, like maybe she realized, oh my god, I couldn't protect my child. I am a failure as a mother. So basically, it'd almost be something to kind of help pass the time. Because, yeah, there'd be a lot of times, because, yeah, with Goku gone, yeah, she's all on her own. So I imagine she'd probably do that to try and, like, build some semblance of a routine again. Because I imagine Chi-Chi likes structure and routine. So if she did do that, she wouldn't certainly be strong enough to be able to be up against the Saiyans, but she could at least appeal to her own, like, desire to, you know, really kind of appeal to stuff. So.
I mean, I was thinking about this, you know, like as she couldn't take a Saiyan, and we have to take into consideration that Ox King is not an ordinary Earthling, considering that he's named after, you know, basically a demon king from Journey to the West. And we know that he's pretty strong. So we don't, like if you think about it, we don't really know if Chi-Chi is an ordinary human being. Like, I think she could go at least to the Raditz level of power.
Yeah, certainly.
If she trained.
Give Yajirobe some trouble at least.
Yeah.
Akimuryu. Hey Masako, I know you're not a big fan of Super Saiyan 3, but I wonder how would you redesign the form if you could, and also any other forms you might not like. We did a video about this. What if we fix Super Saiyan 3? So you can go and check out that video. But in short, we would make it all about the speed. The stamina drain's not much of an issue, but there'd be some kind of risk-reward type thing. So there'd be something along those lines.
Yeah, you also did one about Bloom, which Red Dragon Force mentioned as well.
Yes, exactly. So all of the stuff along those lines. So we do have quite a few videos about different transformations because we like coming up with them, certainly.
Maybe we should fix, bulky Bear's trunks form someday.
Yeah, so we should certainly come up
Because
with something
that's
like that.
another dumb one on the list.
Oh, like Super Saiyan Rage or Grade 3?
Grade 3. I like Rage. Grade 3 is pretty stupid.
Oh yeah, no, Grade 3. We should probably... I mean, I sort of liked it in terms of its dramatic purposes and the fact that it wasn't like... It wasn't really... Like, yeah, you didn't need to heavily
use in the practical use in the
Oh
series.
no, of course not. But it just showed it was good at a good level of showing that Super Saiyan wasn't all that perfect, in that sense. But yes, so let's check out next one. Anime Guy 01. What if during the 3 years Bulma sought out Gero to help him with the androids and ended up becoming an android after getting double crossed? I could sort of see that happening. Maybe like with Bulma getting very disgruntled about no one taking her plan seriously to stop Gero. She goes and does it herself and tries to like find some way of like being able to like undermine all of his like work. So like maybe, but then Gero kind of is already aware like, you know, there'd be no reason that Bulma would come here other than to sabotage my stuff. So it kind of sets a plan for her, makes Bulma into an android basically. Like, yeah. And then kind of just like sends her back in, pretending to be, basically pretending to be regular Bulma.
Yeah.
And then just kind of undermines everything, like, so that would be very cruel. Certainly.
Play the sound.
Yeah, in that case, we're playing the sound. Punk 2120. What if Dabura spit on Vegeta instead of Piccolo? Well, that would have been a very dumb move. We might have had Majin Piccolo. Oh man, if we had Majin Piccolo. Oh jeez.
I think one of the fighting games that has a lot of what ifs, not Xenoverse, but some of the, I think DS games. There's like, the name escaped me, but there's a DS game that has a lot of what if scenarios.
Oh, it's like Attack of the Saiyans or something like that.
I think so, something like that had this scenario.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. That would be kind of interesting though, Majin Piccolo.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
You play that kind of thing to almost have like a callback to King Piccolo, the King Piccolo saga. That'd be kind of cool.
Yep.
Red Dragon Force 2 on behalf of Thunder Student. What if Master Media owned Dragon Ball? I don't really want to say much to kind of get people's ire, but Anime Wars would be a spin-off. Let's just say that. I'm guessing. Anime War would be a thing. You get a One Piece Dragon Ball crossover all the time. One Punch Man, you'd have Saitama. You definitely would have like a crossover with Saitama and Goku. Let's just say that. Saitama would certainly be a thing in a Dragon Ball OVA. Yeah, we've had a Raleigh. Let's put Saitama in. Master Riku. Oh, 1 second. I just gotta be right back. But
what's the next question?
Oh no, never mind. No, never mind. Philly got the door.
Okay.
So basically, the next question is, what if Dr. Gero had turned Bulma's sister into android? She did have a sister, right? Oh, no, she certainly did.
Oh.
So basically...
You guys are cruel today to the Briefs family. Jeez, Louise.
Yeah, and it's not just from the same guy. It's basically just like, oh, okay. It's basically had a sister. And like, so if Tights had that, that would certainly bring Tights back into the story. And like, you know, Vegeta would say, wait a second, you had a sister? Is she hotter than you? Vegeta! What? I'm just saying you're hot! I just wanted to know if she was even more so. It's like, you know, that's nice, Vegeta, but that's... I don't know what to say. It's like, it would certainly create a lot of tension, but I can imagine some, like... Toriyama would throw in a gag of like Vegeta going like, "Wait, you had a sister?" That kind of stuff.
Of everyone going, you have a sister. I don't think
everybody. Yeah, and like go, and she'd be like, "Goku, I've known you for so long. How did you not know?" So that kind of stuff. So I can imagine that being turned into a gag. Master Riku back again. What if Goku had been sent to Earth with another Saiyan his age? I imagine if he had been, then probably it would depend on the Saiyan. If it was a very good-natured Saiyan, like a Beats, then I imagine they probably would have been in hiding, or like I guess they would have just grown up together, really. But if Goku had the bump to the head and the other one didn't, that would certainly create a lot of like tension in that way.
Yeah.
So imagine that. And Nerd King, oh, good to see you, Nerd King.
Hi, Nerd King.
And thank you so much for your contribution. That's all the same. And I hope you're doing well. It's very nice to see you back again. And it's really nice to see everyone back here. It's just really nice to see, despite all this kind of like, you know, adversities and stuff like this and all the troubled times, we're all sticking together because we're all a big bunch of geeks. I like that. Yeah. I really do appreciate that. But yeah, I imagine it would really depend on the Saiyan. That's pretty much, it's a very open question in that sense. Let's see, what is another one? Gobi. Here we go, we got Gobi. Instead of the past, what if Frieza's supernova sent Bardock to the future on Earth at some point between age 756 and 761? Oh, so during the 5 years between DB and Z. Well, it's sort of what reminds me of Burst Limit in a way. Like, there's that moment where Bardock does go to the future and sees... Because we get teased Goku Super Saiyan 2 and Burst Limit. We get that teased to us. So, I imagine probably if he did, then he probably would want to connect with Kakarot to, like, say, "Hey, kid, did you take out Frieza?" "Oh, yeah, totally did." "Oh, cool. Okay, I'm gonna go around in space now. See ya." Like, because Bardock, as we've said many times, he is very much a wanderer. Like, he's not very much the type to be wanting to stick around that much.
Yeah, but he would be, you know, earlier between DB and Z, so, like... I don't know, like...
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I was thinking about Burst Limit again. But in that sense, I imagine probably, he would probably realize that, oh, okay, you're stronger now than you were before. That's something. I will train you up a little bit. I will train you up a little bit, so that means you're not as much of an embarrassment and that you can fulfill this prophecy. That's him internally saying that, of course.
Yeah, and we can go all our own ways. If you want, you can accompany me to space. If not, you can live on this planet with that family of yours.
Yeah, no, of course.
He would be quite surprised, probably, that they can be Saiyan hybrids, you know, like, and like. They wouldn't be hostility, but not exactly a deep bond.
It'd be very indifferent. Bardock's not a nasty person, but you know, he's very indifferent, I would say.
Yeah, like the good thing is that he probably would prepare Goku to be for the Saiyan things a little bit earlier, so Goku would be more ready for Raditz. Like Goku would beat Raditz probably.
Mm.
And Piccolo would probably not be redeemed. He would be mad at this, and I think Bardock could beat Piccolo at this point.
I could imagine that being the case.
Yeah. You know what? The longer I think about it, this might be fun for a few parts.
Yeah. Okay. Let's make a note of this. Cinderbat. Yeah. I know that. Follow up on your last ask. Can you just tag Haverock and ask what that is? I can't see it on the list, so just double check with Haverock about that.
Yeah.
And then we'll make a note of that for later.
Add at me and...
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Red Dragon also said, looking forward to the Dragon Ball kart thing. How to watch after. Oh yeah, no, do enjoy that. That, for those of you who don't know, I played a little mod that somebody made. I'm a Vegeta, called Dragon Ball Kart 64. So I played that, and it was surprisingly fun and full of loads of meta humor, like ridiculously so. Sean Dever, what if Turles became good and was a Z fighter? Well, if Turles did become good, it would really depend, and I can imagine loads of like very funny hijinks where Chi-Chi doesn't recognize, oh, that's not Goku, that's Turles. Like loads of, oh my god, you guys are like twins and stuff like that. There'd be loads of those jokes. And it would have to be one of those things like something really corny, like, oh, the tree of the fruit of the tree of might on earth doesn't make you more powerful, it makes you nice. that would have to be one of those things. It's like maybe you'd have to slightly modify the Tree of Might into not only giving you strength based on the planet, but also on the characteristics of the planet. Like, if you had the Tree of Might on a world that was very ravaged with kind of like disasters and like not a very happy place to be, it would make you more malevolent. But if the Earth is such a very nice place to be and full of wonder and nature, it would make Turles a good guy. So that would be one of those things. He eats the fruit, and then you realize, I don't want to attack you anymore. That's a different novel way to do it. I can imagine Toriyama pulling that kind of stunt.
Yeah.
Bossy Bats. What if Super Boo turned good? If you somehow made Mr. Boo defeat Evil Boo and have him eat him, a Super Boo with the Z Fighters would be amazing. I think we did this one last week in a slightly differently phrased. Sorry. But basically what it would entail is that it's like, okay, you had Good Boo versus Evil Boo, but Good Boo won out and just like ate him up again. So you just kind of go back to what it was before. So I imagine he would just chill out with Hercule. He'd read Bob and Margaret. He would then set up the Bob and Margaret fan club, with Hercule being the treasurer.
And he still would be a ticking bomb because
He would be, though.
like,
There would still
because
be that.
the big difference of those Boo is that you can steal a piece of good Boo, but it's hard to to get pleasant, friendly feelings from evil Boo.
Yeah, that's
Evil
the thing.
Super Boo. So yeah.
There is that moment of uncertainty still. That is very much true. Okay. Next one is from Heartless Fang. What if Bardock and Kid Goku switch places? Bardock ends up with amnesia and after traveling to Earth. Well, bad sound for Kid Goku. So basically, Kid Goku ends up in space or dead, and Bardock's the one in the pod.
Yeah.
If he ends up on Earth, probably Grandpa Gohan would look after him in a way. But I imagine you would still have the Bardock who'd be very indifferent. His personality would not be the same, but he just wouldn't remember who he was. But his temperament would still be the same.
I don't know why, but I have some Samurai Jack vibes from like Amnesiac Bardock.
Okay.
He could be like that kind of samurai-esque figure.
Okay.
I think at best, at worst, he would become a mercenary. Not like Tao, but more like
like somewhat, just basically someone
Witcher Mandalorian mercenary type, like
okay.
that.
So you just get Bardock going, this is the way.
Yeah.
There you go. Gobi again. What if Goten had been conceived at some point between age 765 and future Goku's death in November of age 766? Okay, so basically it was right before the Cell games. In that sense, you probably would just have like future Goten, but he would probably be a teenager, so you'd have this kind of like Goten and Trunks being trained. But then again, at the same time, there is also the caveat, and we have said this a couple of times before, Goten would never be allowed to leave Chi-Chi's sight. Ever. Yeah. Like, it's a miracle that Gohan was old enough to be able to make his own decisions and have to do it because he was one of the strongest people around. But with Goten, no, Chi-Chi would just cling on to him for dear life. And Goten would have the same design, stuff like that. Yeah. No, Goten would be in around Mount Paozu. He wouldn't be allowed to train at all. And I can imagine that causing a big rift in the family. Gohan would be absolutely livid that Chi-Chi could be so selfish. But she's trying to do the good thing, but in a way not doing a good thing and stuff like that. But anyway, Alex Casillas, you might need to make a video on this one day. What if you guys get to redo all of Dragon Ball? You can do whatever you want with the story, no strings attached. That's a good question. We could make that like a long form discussion topic because Haverock and I want to do like a podcast series, and we could make a series called Dragon Ball No Strings Attached, as in like we would like go, well, how would we start from the beginning and stuff like that. Yeah. So okay, we'll make a note of that. Alex. But that would actually be it'd be a huge undertaking, that's for sure. But it's quite an exciting one, all the same. Yeah. But no, thanks, Alex. We'll make a note of that, and we'll make a note of that you suggested it. Thank you. The autistic goldfish. Here's an idea for an April Fool's what if. What if Bulma was a magical girl? Well, it's similar to what if Bulma trained like Goku in a way, only with giant robots instead of being a magical girl. But I do have an idea for next year's April Fool. I do have an idea that does relate to Bulma, but not in that sense.
Okay.
Unless it involved Cubey and a contract. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But I have an idea for that. But if Bulma was a magical girl, I imagine it would just be the kind of sense of like, well, it does tick the box for Haverock in wanting more magic in Dragon Ball, that's for sure.
Yeah, like, listen, like, Bulma is already a magical girl for Dr. Briefs.
Well, there you go. So I would certainly say that. Mean Crank. How would you design androids 9 through 12, Dr. Giro's failures? Prototypes, experimental builds, backstories, etc.
Moving on.
Well, Mean Crank, we have plans for it, but I won't say how.
Yeah, you will, one day
you will
see.
see. You will see, Mean Crank. There is something to that. I will say.
Oh, I have a very bad case of cough. I'm sorry. I don't know what caused it.
It's not the 19 thing, right?
No.
Good. The Red Dragon Force 2. What if Team RWBY found themselves on Earth during the OG Dragon Ball? How well would they do? I probably would say that they would probably devastate most of the planet, really. Or they would certainly, with Yang pretty much just going like, no, you guys don't, you guys are mean people. You're not supposed to do that kind of stuff. I really need to catch up on RWBY, to be honest. But I can imagine them actually clearing up house quite considerably. And I can imagine RWBY actually being really, really chummy with Goku. I can imagine that totally.
Every charm of Goku is a charm of mine.
Yeah. Okay. Monkey Dama. Hey, Masako, I'm not sure if this has been done before, but what if Raditz successfully kidnapped Gohan? I think it would make a good arc to rescue Gohan on a grand scale. Oh, yeah. I think we have done that before, but I feel like, unfortunately, due to the convenience of the Dragon Balls, I can imagine them... Oh, Raditz takes Gohan. They get the Dragon Balls. They wish Gohan back to Earth.
Raditz doesn't know what happens and assumes that maybe hybrids vanish in space.
They would just think, what? Is this a thing? Yeah, he would just think that Gohan turned invisible.
Yeah.
I can imagine him getting back to Vegeta and Nappa and say, allow me to present you this child. Well, I don't see a child there, Raditz. I know, but don't worry. He's just invisible. Don't worry. He'll show up again in a second. 5 minutes pass. Has he got a case of stage fright there, Raditz, or are you just toying with our minds? No, really! I don't know how hybrids work, but they must be weird because they're not full-blooded Saiyans like us. They must have some weird, kooky powers that we could not understand. More like you just can't comprehend because you're stupid, Raditz. Oh, that's a good one, Nappa. I know, Vegeta. It would make Raditz look even more like a fool in front of them. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snoop's Nintai. What if a Z fighter, I vote Vegeta, succumbed to the side effects of the time chamber? Oh, so basically either gets trapped inside there forever, or basically, or he stays in there too long and realizes, oh no, I'm too old. That kind of stuff. It would be Vegeta. Vegeta. It would totally be him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he would either die of like old age, or he would end up being stuck in there. And I can imagine him being stuck in there.
Or go crazy.
Or both.
Yep.
But I can certainly imagine... Well, in the end, though, the Buu Saga kind of just like, oh, you get stuck in there forever? Oh, no matter, you just have to shout really loud. There you go. I can imagine that.
Yeah. Imagine, like, him shouting in rage and accidentally breaking it.
It's...
Like...
Oh,
I met a lot of shenanigans. Yeah.
Oh.
It would be bad.
Heartless Fang. What if a young Saiyaman 3 appeared from the future to stop Gohan from writing his book on Ki? I can imagine that happening, actually. Oh, Basically, everyone knows Ki, and now everybody is not special. There are no such thing as superheroes. Like, go, Mr. Gohan, I have come from the future to stop you from making this terrible book. Why? You know, this is meant to be a thing about revolutionizing human energy and infinite energy sources. I know, but the thing is though, Mr. Gohan, with this book, there are no superheroes. What? How can that be? I'm afraid that everybody becomes so strong that there's no one special anymore. And Gohan would be left in a crisis. Oh no, I can't be doing that. The imagination of children around the world. And he burns his book. There you go. Yeah.
I need to go on my next conference and...
Oh, this is going to make a very nice, interesting topic for my next conference.
Time travel.
Time travel, possible? Possible or necessary? You could certainly imagine that. Gobi, what if Goku Black's body was actually future Goku, with the latter's soul trapped in an endless state of pain and I must scream? Oh, what? So like maybe Goku's soul was still inside there? Oh man, that would be really, really dark. Like, instead of just getting rid of Goku's soul entirely, basically he just hijacks Goku's body and like does all these terrible things to his friends and planet.
Oh,
that'd be Dragon Ball Z territory. I can imagine that. Or currently with Dragon Ball Multiverse, have you seen the latest chapter? I mean, I've not really been following Multiverse, but I've seen like Majin Bulma do terrible things to Piccolo. Oh my god. Like, literally pointing and he explode. Eyeballs everywhere. It's like, as Goku would say, dark. It's like, ooh, that's really dark, Gobi, though. I like the way you think, though. I do like making my characters be tortured sometimes.
Yeah, that would be, that's interesting.
Yeah. Bossy Vats, what if Goku accidentally turned human before getting with Chi-Chi in a similar way to Kuririn turning Saiyan? Well, if he still had power, then okay. But he wouldn't have Zenkai, and then ultimately against Raditz, play the sound. Yep. So unfortunately, if you make Goku not being a Saiyan and stuff like that, then it doesn't bode well for anyone in that kind of state of mind. Jesse Goff says, can Goku say RNA polymerase? It rhymes RNA polymerase, like mayonnaise. That wasn't mayo. There you go, Jesse. Red Dragon Force 2. How powerful would Akumo be in the Dragon World?
Not that much, I think.
Which Akumo are we talking about here?
I assume Street Fighter Akuma, because he's the most...
Oh, no, like... Akumo. Oh, Akumo from Dragon Ball Next Future, I think.
Akumo. Okay.
Basically regarded as the legendary Super Saiyans from Universe 13. Oh, okay. Interesting that there's Saiyans in Universe 13, but then again, 6 plus 7 is 13. I don't really know. I need to catch up with Dragon Ball Next Future, to be honest. But now you got it on my radar. Thank you very much. I shall give it a look.
I haven't seen it, so my mea culpa.
But yeah, no, Dragon, thank you very much for the suggestion, though. Robmar34, what if Goku and Raditz were sent to Earth together? We've had this quite a few times, but either way, we would definitely have Raditz being the older figure and basically looking out for Goku, but also at the same time with his cowardly nature and resourcefulness. He would basically just kind of like look out for his kid or kid brother and stuff like that, and just pretend to be the cool elder brother figure in that sense.
But on the other hand, he would also often use him as a tool.
Oh, totally, because he's a cute little baby and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Sean Dever, what if Bulma reprogrammed Heartchak to be good instead of the Z Fighters destroying him?
A lot of Christmassy joy would be to be had.
Everyone would be on the nice list.
Yeah, definitely.
Certainly like that, but it would certainly make Heartchak relevant again. But I don't mind all the Christmas puns, that's for sure. But in reality, though, you basically... Heartchak's, like, beams and stuff like that would basically give out, like... He'd be very useful, but you'd have to use him strategically. instead of being, in the Z Fighters. You just almost have to, like, let him charge up and then just jump into the fray before the bad guy can actually make a reaction. Anyway, Todd, hey boys, I'm really feeling in the dumps. Hoping you boys can provide some words of wisdom. Well, Todd, I would say get up and eat that horse, but I'm sorry that you're feeling, blue, though. But, there are times where people do feel sad, and it's okay to be feeling not so great sometimes. But, things can turn around, and things can improve. But, understandably, sometimes these things take time. But, as long as, people are patient with you, things will be alright. That's pretty much what I have to say. So, don't worry, Todd. It'll be alright. But you do you, and you take the time that you need.
Yeah.
Gobi again. What if Goku was raised by the Satan family? Would they name him Jigoku or Naraku? Naraku! And stuff like that. Yeah, getting Inuyasha vibes. Again, if it was by the Satan family specifically, and not just like from Hercule, I can imagine him basically being like, having the same things as, their son would be. I can imagine Mark maybe getting jealous sometimes of all the attention this newcomer just got. He was an only child.
They're only 1 year apart, so he wouldn't. Oh well, Goku was like.
No, but later on, once he got older and he realized that his kid, his kid brother, his younger brother came from another planet, and was all the special thing. Basically he got all the attention. I can imagine that kind of getting under his skin in that sense. Red Dragon Force 2, on behalf of Thunder Student, what if King Kai fused with Shin? You'd have a Kai that would make loads of Frieza puns. Because Shin is completely obsessed with Frieza and comparing him in terms of power. But then you also have King Kai who loves his jokes.
Yep.
So you would have that. And hey, he might actually be able to do stuff and actually have some initiative. You never know. You certainly never know. Todd Howard. What if Goku was born in Universe 2 and became an honorary member of the Kamikaze Fireballs? I can imagine that being like a thing that, he saves Ribrianne and the girls from, certain doom. And they make him an honorary member. And that kind of stuff, you'd be like, oh, cool. And then every time you see him again, he'd keep going, what now? Oh, yeah, the thing that you said. Cool, I guess? What's your policy on food? That kind of stuff. So, I think it'd be something along those lines. It'd be a sense of gags, but stuff.
What's their English name?
The Kamikaze Fireballs.
No, Maiden Squadron.
Oh man, really?
Yeah. I think they didn't know to use name Kamikaze.
Oh, Maiden Squadron. Oh, that sounds so pedestrian. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I learned recently.
Oh man, that's lame.
Squadron. Yeah.
The Kamikaze Fireballs sounded cool. Like, really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us go with the next one. Oh, we've just come up to our 1 hour mark, so I would like to say now, thank you so much for your submissions, but our submissions for Super Chats are now closed. Thank you so much for your contributions, and if we do have time for them, then we'll get through to them later on, but all we can say, thank you so much for your contributions. They really do help out a lot. But we do have still quite a few left to go. So don't worry, buckle yourself in. We're still going. Alright, so let us see. What have we got? Mankidama. What if Piccolo was canon? And what would his role be in Super? Oh,
We have a video about this.
Oh, we did do a video about this, about, Piccolo and what you could do with him. But basically, I would love for Piccolo to be involved in some way. Because, he'd be a good mentor figure to Goku. After having spent so much time with him in the other world. So, I would definitely say, and Red Dragon, if you were going to do a super chat, you can quickly do it. Like, if we have time, but either way. I feel like he'd be a good mentor figure for Goku and some of the Z Fighters in that sense. A very stoic individual. Probably him and Piccolo would get on quite well.
Yep.
Something like that. Jared Glasspool. What if Krillin was given the Mystic form just before the Tournament of Power in Super?
Mystic Krillin. Yeah.
Ultimate Krillin. I'm surprised they didn't do that. Like, Gohan could have just gone like, you know, oh, yeah, you could try this thing I did with the Elder Kai. And, you know, Krillin could do it, and he would become Ultimate.
You know what I'm afraid of? If they ask about it, like, they would ask about some weird fight with 18. Because, of course, because old Kai is basically Kai version of Roshi.
Oh, no. Oh, so Krillin gets offered it, but then they have to say, oh, the bribe is he has to go on Elder Kai gets to go on a date with 18, and 18 says no. It's like, you're my husband, and I love you, but I will not do that. It's like, oh, man, I wanted to get stronger and not have to do anything. And it's like, and then 18 would just be like, that's not the Krillin I fell in love with. And there'd be another cappuccino that would suddenly dissolve. Yeah. Paparazzi, what if in Super Broly, Frieza's wish was eternal tarantulas in Gohan's bedroom? It's like, ah, yes. I wish to get back that little rapscallion after what he did to me on the planet Namek. Lord Frieza, did that person really beat you down to a pulp? No. Did he give you so much trauma that you basically felt really uncomfortable thinking about his name? And you wish to get revenge on his very soul? No. Then what was it, Lord Frieza? He wished for infinite tarantulas. What? With big appendages. Right. Okay. Are you gonna do the same to this child as well? Oh, very much so. I can imagine that being the thing.
That would explain why we didn't see Gohan in.
That would explain he was clearing up the tarantulas. There you go. Joe the Medical, do you recommend Ultimate Muscle anime? If you like the immature Toriyama sense of humor as well as action, then sure. Absolutely, I would say. I recommend it. Dark Cloud Alpha, what if Dr. Gero was the sorcerer and Babidi was the mad scientist? How would that change their arcs? It would certainly be a little bit more different in terms of their mood, because Babidi would be a real mad scientist. Like, you know, at last, he's alive! He's alive! And stuff like that. And you have Gero as the very stoic sorcerer, wearing the big shoulder pads.
Yeah, and like, and Cell would be like an alchemical creation.
Yeah, that could be actually really cool. Lots of like kind of magic in there. And then like the science is an afterthought with Babidi. That could be cool. Yeah. Todd Howard, what if Goku was in the Elder Scrolls universe and raised by the...
Sorry. One quick thing. And androids would be golems in this version.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough. Okay. But yeah, Todd asked, what if Goku was in the Elder Scrolls universe and raised by the Red Guard sword singers?
Well, he would have a pretty nice curved sword, that's for sure, because they are known for their curved sword, you know. And for sure, he wouldn't, bow before any elf or Thalmor, for sure. And I think if he was raised in the right time, Goku could like beat some Thalmor soldiers to a pulp, and Thalmor's victory over the Empire wouldn't be that significant. You know?
Okay. Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, basically have that kind of different variation. Okay, I like that. Neat. Alright, next one is the Jurassic Show. Fun thought, what if Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa, and by extension the Z-Fighters, couldn't understand each other because of a language barrier? Well, okay, I can imagine that being funny for a while, but ultimately I imagine probably there'd be some kind of like, that, oh, everybody in the universe knows English or something like that. Or
the scouter, took enough of the language.
Oh, like the scouters took some damage and then they can't be understood.
No. Like the scouters took enough of the data from them, from like Earthlings speaking or Saiyan speaking, and would just go back to work or learn their new language if they couldn't.
Oh, understand. Okay. All right, no, I would say that's pretty much
If they couldn't understand each other, I think they know, like they know the Saiyan speak. I think it would be worse with the Earthlings, really.
Okay, well that's fair enough. Dark Cloud Alpha, What if it turned out that Goten and Trunks had wished on the Dragon Balls to never grow up? So they say they stole the radar and found them in secret. They've been watching Peter Pan, hadn't they?
Boy!
Oh,
That's actually very, very Toriyama-like.
oh
And that
god.
they have reverted.
Oh man, can you imagine if they did that? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be quite honest, that fits those characters pretty well.
It does, but it would just be so much like,
I mean, you can undo it with another wish, but like, again, if that would be the case, if they made it a part of the story, I wouldn't be even mad. That would be kind of hilarious.
It would be a very interesting twist. Let's just say that.
Yeah, like, and to have Whis fix that, like in that comic.
Oh.
One of the funniest things.
Yeah.
Related to that.
Jurassic Show next. If you had enough money, would you commission Dragon Ball related conlangs, short for constructed fictional language? I would probably be very interested to see what a Saiyan dialogue could be like. But I know there is a thing about the Scouter language. I'd love to do a video about that and how that was constructed, and the person who was able to derive it. But I'd like to come up with some kind of Saiyan language in a way.
Yeah.
That kind of be interesting. What kind
Taking
of
a lot of growls and like hard syllables because they were like monkey people.
Yes.
So I can imagine it would be very growly. That.
And I'd probably throw in some Bill Wirtz stuff like Gnooshk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gnooshk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sean Dever. What if Saiyan Zamasu was sealed by the Marvel Bureau and Goku Black ran away and came back with Super Saiyan Rose Evolution? What would it look like? Even more, they would turn the bloom effect up, and his eyes would be really, really big and shiny. And
but
stronger.
which British dialect would he use?
He'd turn Cockney. All right, mates. He said, "All right, mates. My name is Super Saiyan Rose Evolution Goku Black, innit? I'm gonna flip and deck you round do your nutting." It's like, why does he sound even more British? I don't know, Vegeta. Let's just roll with it. That kind of stuff. He'd sound like a Cockney. Or something like that. Oh, no. Oh, why, man? He'd be a bit more intimidating. You're basically just making him sound like a Geordie there. Well odd. That's really bad for Geordie, but if it's think Tucky from Sunny Con's like, oh, why, pet? I'm just gonna blast you to that stratosphere, though, man. Oh man, I need to be around Tucky more. I miss him. For those of you who don't know, Tucky and Donna, they run SunnyCon, and that's probably one of my favorite conventions I go to. And unfortunately, due to circumstances this year, I won't be able to go. Well, the con's cancelled, so I'm really sad about that. But yeah, we'll be back next year, and I'll be reading bad fan fiction there certainly. Anyway, Heartbreaker. What if Piccolo beat Raditz in their first encounter in the Saiyan Saga and they joined forces? Sort of what you got in What If Raditz turned good? Because that sort of is what happened. Like, they joined forces, and through kind of realizing that, they have mutual understandings and, desires and needs, then I can imagine it kind of going that way. Certainly. Tempest Master 1000. Hey, what if Universe Raditz and Launch brushed with Galactic Patrol? I can imagine they've probably been watching Raditz for some time, and they basically kind of want to, bring him on board with that kind of stuff, but I feel like Raditz would not want to be tied down to it. Like, maybe he becomes an intern, he does one day, and then he just basically bails. Like, he cannot, it's too much paperwork for his liking. He'd rather be out there, kicking butt, really being direct with the people. Ah, yes, but Raditz, you've forgotten the trials and tribulations and the satisfaction of filling out incident report forms. That doesn't sound fun at all. I'm gonna go now.
You are a loose cannon, Raditz.
It's like, here, Raditz, we go by the book. By book. No, McBain. McBain jokes would work with Raditz, certainly. Alright. Alpha165. Please do Dragon Ball D&D style on live stream. What, do a one-time Dragon Ball themed campaign? Maybe, if we can come with something come up with something, maybe. It could be kind of fun.
I have an idea, but
Oh, you do have an idea. Ooh.
you know me. I always have ideas.
Okay. Well, we'll be looking forward to that. In
Oh,
due course.
I have a second idea. Like I'm like the doctor. Like oh, I see a third idea coming in. Like
Oh, okay. Well, we'll watch this space, people.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff Caldwell. What if the DBZ and Sailor Moon worlds were to cross during the Buu arc? I think there'd be some connection between the Saiyans and the Moon royalty, Sailor Moon, because of the moon, and have Gohan interact with the Sailor Scouts. Well, Gohan would certainly be living the henshin and stuff like that in terms of like a squad and get some ideas from them. Maybe having a crush on Jupiter, because who doesn't? I think the majority of people I knew always had a crush on Jupiter. Jupiter was the best one. I would agree in that sense. I had a crush on Jupiter when I was a kid, certainly. But I would certainly say if there were, basically there'd be that kind of symbiotic connection about their origins in terms of them becoming monkeys and stuff like that. So that could be interesting. So we'll make a note of it, maybe like for some time, if like for the next anniversary or something.
Gohan, like Kid Gohan would have a crush, but Teen Gohan would be Tuxedo. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, next one. D-Mel's. What if Cell had survived in hiding and had been absorbed by Buu later? Would that have changed Buu to be more tactical in the beginning? Oh yeah, probably. It would actually make him a sort of like Buhan in a way, only, obviously without the orange gi. But I can imagine that, it would make him a bit more kind of like, have a bit more rationale.
Good jawline, and that nose.
Yeah, so he would be very... Goku would have like, I feel like I've seen that jawline before. I like it. That kind of stuff. Okay, what if Goku, this is from Rob Mar, what if Goku and Raditz were sent together to Earth? We have had that before, but basically, in short, Raditz would be the overprotective elder brother, basically making use of the resources of Earth to try and keep them alive. And Goku would be used as a bargaining chip, certainly. Red Dragon Force 2. What if Gohan went Super Saiyan Rage against Form 2-3 Frieza? Oh, I can imagine against Form 3, he would have probably a lot of trouble. Frieza 3 would have a bad time. And I think even in his final form, he would find it a little bit tricky. Because originally he's only like at 2% power in final form. So I think that would make him have to power up quickly. And if Goku didn't get there quick enough, I think that could easily cause some bloodshed. If they weren't careful. Alright. Jared Glasspool. What if you were hit by a truck and woke up in the start of Dragon Ball as yourself, not a Z fighter? What would you do and how would you live? I would probably try and find some ways to be able, like, I would certainly go to the World Martial Arts Tournament and, like, place bets on all the people who won the tournament. And once, with a heavily good financial base, so you have that, and then basically you would go and try and find Kame House and, or Grandpa Gohan, or depends on what time you are in, and then you kind of just go from there.
But imagine that. Okay, I will die in a few seconds. Okay, but I will be back. Okay, like knowing when you will die and that you will die quite a few times.
Oh, okay. So you kind of have to like second guess yourself sometimes. Okay, well, that seems fair enough. Jesse Golf. Here's an April Fool. What if the nebulous Namekian didn't come to Earth from Namek, but was rather Piccolos stuck in the time loop? Bootstrap paradox. Oh. That could be interesting. So it's actually Piccolo, not Katas. And it's King Piccolo basically coming back to the form bubbling up. Like the reaction with Kami instigates this form reappearing. So okay. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe it would just somehow be, but there'd be like an Ouroboros effect. So basically it just shows no matter what, Earth would never be destroyed because it would always come back and go round and round it again. So that could be interesting. Ironic, certainly.
Yep.
Nick Wolf. Fix grade 3 by slowing the opponent down, too. Oh, yeah, so basically, well, I think that was the point, really. By, if you could get a hit on as grade 3, you could slow the opponent down by, making them really hurt, that they need time to recover, in a way. Gobi, then again. What if Goku had sustained permanent neurogenic mutism, dysarthria, or NLP, total blindness, from either birth or from when he was hit on his head? I would say so. Basically, he actually had some, it actually affected him, not just amnesia.
I mean, we would have him as a blind warrior, basically.
Yeah, he'd be able. He would pretty much just manifest vision from ki, pretty much.
Yeah.
So he would adapt. Yeah, Saiyans are very easy to adapt. I mean, like Paragus, even though he had one eye, he was able to function just fine and still be quite powerful. It's just a case of adapting, and Saiyans are very well known to be able to do so because they need to based on the environment that they land in. So I imagine it probably wouldn't really affect him. It would actually make him even more intimidating. Because
also, I think they could have acute other senses, also hearing and
yeah, certainly. It would just enhance everything else. Okay. Next one, Jay Andrews. What if you did a what if multiverse tournament with all the Z fighters from your what ifs? Like, what if Raditz, Gine, Goku was a girl, etc.? Oh, we have plans. Basically, after the Tournament of Power Bingo tournament thing's all done, we'll work on something else based on something up to, like, what ifs up to a certain point when we started them. But we basically just need to, like, set a kind of basic threshold in terms of powers and scaling them. So we want to make sure everything's fair. Alright, Gobi, what if Gohan developed exploding head syndrome as a result of post-trauma brought on by the arcs preceding Majin Buu? What? Exploding head syndrome. Oh, it's a condition in which unreal noises are allowed on a short duration. Oh, so basically, it's not literally, but it's basically, you get like loud noises. It's just like night fears and stuff, night terrors. Well, basically, it would just be kind of like, it'd be an interesting manifestation, really. So,
It might explain why he would be less eager to fight and more wants to, go to science. That would actually give some, some additional validity of him not wanting to fight that much anymore.
Okay. That's certainly reasonable enough. Master Riku, what if Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Dragon Ball Universe had a crossover? I can imagine that being something quite fun. Michelangelo and Goku certainly loving their food and stuff like that. And
But still, in original DB, not in Z. In Z, that wouldn't have much sense.
No, not really. But I can imagine there'd be some fun antics, though. Certainly. Cinderbat. Oh, did you get like Cinderbat's reply?
No. I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, can just Cinderbat, if you can just like tag Haverock and we'll get to your question.
Yeah.
Once we get it.
Tag me, mate. Yeah, tag me, mate. Like...
Okay. Brandon Little's next. Given the nature of Kais and how they're born, wouldn't Zamasu technically be a bad apple? I haven't played this sound today, so basically I want to play it, but I do appreciate the pun, but I don't think Bardock does in this legendary clip. I hadn't played that today, so I wanted to play it, but I appreciate the pun. So, he is a bad seed, pretty much. Gobi again. What if Gohan was forced to coexist with a Keiseiju parasite living in one of his arms after it failed to drill into his head and take over his brain? You basically would have Parasite the Maxim. It'd be like, oh, so basically despite, like, Gohan has all these powers, and basically this parasite almost manifests and basically is able to create 1,000,000 hands in one go, and they all can shoot ki. So it's like a Hellzone grenade, basically, but literally from all over and like can encompass things and eat through flesh, and it's just like, It would terrify Gohan, but it would certainly look really cool. That's one way to modernize Dragon Ball in one way. But I imagine that he would almost like, he would take him to conferences though. Behold, the first example of a parasite being able to coexist with a human. Yeah, the conferences, they'd be so popular.
Yeah. Think about the conference saga.
Yeah. Frost, what if Zamasu sees Master Ultra Goku if he saw the Tournament of Power? I think probably that would be one battle too much, I would say. If he saw Master Ultra Instinct Goku and Goku fought him, he'd be done in one go. Like, and Goku knew who he was, oh no, he would be like done before he even hit the ground. Probably. But in a way, I think he probably would be a little less terrified or less angry. Because that's the kind of power, you know, you have to be special in order to get that power. It's not just regular Super Saiyan in that sense. Gobi, what if Goku had been reincarnated as Goten? Well, that would explain a lot, but maybe he'd be a bit nicer in terms of like knowing some social protocols and stuff like that. But in a way, and another same time, you could always just have the personality, oh, he's just Kid Goku again. Ha 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 ha. So you could always have that. I really would not want that, because that would be just so boring. Jay Andrews next. What if you did a What If Multiverse Tournament with all the Z fighters and you asked what if? Oh, I think we've done that one. We've done that one, Jay. But basically, we are working on something like that, and we will have something. We just want to make sure that we can actually balance everything to make it fair, because powers do vary. Let's just say that. Frost again. Can Goku Black learn Kaio-ken on his Super Saiyan Rose? And does he have the potential to learn Ultra Instinct? To be honest, I hated how OP Goku Black gets Zenkai in battle. I guess probably not Ultra Instinct, because Kais have never been known to have Ultra Instinct. Because, you know, Zamasu takes the brain and potential power of Goku, but what Goku was learning goes with Goku's brain. So, unfortunately, Ultra Instinct would not be possible. But, you know, if he got Kaio-ken, if somebody taught him, that's the thing. He would have to, like, figure out the Kaio-ken potential in Goku. So he'd have to actually do his research. Let's just say that. Podo, where on the docket is the next part of Zamasu did nothing wrong? Just so I know how many videos we'll see before we get to the next part of the next one. We got that on the docket for a week on Tuesday. That's on the docket for then, just so you know. Red Dragon Force 2 on behalf of Augustus. Does Pan have Super Saiyan in GT Raditz? I've never really mentioned it, but I think it would be safe to assume yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so basically, of course. Because you hang around with Ron, she would make sure that you got Super Saiyan. She's got Chip.
Yeah, I think I think we forgot to mention that because it felt obvious, but yeah, she does. She does.
Yeah, we forget that. Oh, with GT, you actually have to specify it. Alpha 165. What if Bulma got infected with the Joker virus and became Bulma Who Laughs?
Oh my gosh, that would be very, very creepy.
Can you elaborate on that? I'm not really.
I mean, there is that new series. I haven't read it, but like I heard a lot of like summaries of that. Basically, there is that team. I don't recall the name of the super villains that are basically Jokerized versions of other DC superheroes, led by Batman Who Laughs, which is basically that very scary looking version of Batman infected by the Joker venom. Let me quickly paste you the image. So basically he's both, you know, Joker, but he's Batman as well. So he has Batman's level of intelligence, and he has that multiversal
okay.
Multiversal, you know, army, and is very, very unhinged, you know. So an insane genius, basically.
Oh, okay.
So imagine that.
All right, well, that's fair enough. All right, gotcha. Okay. Next one is Heartless Fang. What if Gohan was sent back to Raditz's arrival, but the caveat was he had to stay in his Great Saiyaman persona? Would he spare Raditz? He would probably jump in and tell him to leave. Like, tell him to leave the planet. Because obviously he can't... He knows that he has to kind of like find some way to be able to stop Raditz from actually inflicting any harm and stopping his dad from dying. But at the same time, Gohan would also know the perils of like messing with time. So he'd probably be left with a very interesting dilemma. So he'd have to find some way of being able to justify what he needs to do. But ultimately, he does have the power to stop Raditz, so I suppose the lesser of two evils would just have Raditz go away.
Yeah.
So what did we do? Dark Prince Revan. In Resurrection F, if Goku and Vegeta had displayed mastery of Super Saiyan God instead of Blue, and had to work together to defeat Golden Frieza, do you think that would have solved the same of the movie's flaws? Well, it would have certainly given like Super Saiyan God some more time to be around and actually get to grips with, and I can imagine maybe it having some slight challenges. But even with that, eventually, like, Frieza would have still lost a lot of stamina, and they would have still won with it anyway. But it would have just taken a little longer. Like, it wouldn't have been such a one-sided fight. So, certainly something along those lines. But in terms of movie's flaws, maybe in the sense of, oh yeah, you just see Super Saiyan God. Whereas with Blue, it just appears and you think, what? This is a new form, that's it? Whereas if it was like Super Saiyan God again, it would be just like, yay, it's back! That would have gotten rid of one of those bugs, I would say, actually. Yeah.
I think the big feature might be, so Vegeta knows it as well, basically.
Yeah.
That would be bigger.
So that, in that sense, yeah, that's true. Okay. Hunt 2120. What if Gohan hated Goku for always leaving? I imagine there's some kind of resentment towards his father in some way, but in the same time, though, he's always been such a good boy, he doesn't really show it on the surface, but I imagine deep down it actually hurts him. Probably how it affects his mother in that way. So, if he did, I can imagine that would actually cause a rage boost. Like, if, say, for example, at the end of Z, Goku leaves with Oob, I can imagine Gohan, that would be the moment that he snaps.
Yeah.
Like, and basically just say and confront him about that.
He would drag Goku back by his hair.
Yeah, no, he would basically just put a stop to this. He would say, "You're not doing this to my child." Yeah. But again, it's too dramatic and stressful, and Toriyama doesn't like stressful storylines.
Oh no, serious stuff.
Oh no, drama and tension. Oh.
Toriyama no want.
Master Riku now. What if Chi-Chi used her own cooking to convince Beerus and Whis to help her out? She does do good cooking, but that would actually just mean that Chi-Chi would have to deal with Beerus and Whis constantly visiting, and she does not like them. So I don't... That would be a caveat. Like, granted, you save the world, but you would have constant house guests. And they're not grateful for your food. You're basically saving... But then in a way, she might be proud. And like say, oh, I saved the world through my cooking. Ha 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 ha. Stuff like that. It would give her validity in a way. I don't need to have big, strong muscles to be able to save the world, Goku.
Yeah, still, Ox King's Pantry wouldn't be ready for, two Saiyans. And,
of course, yeah, because of the money.
God of the Destruction, and then an Angel.
Oh, yeah, of course. They don't have the budget that the Bulma does, that's true. John Coleman, what if Goku gave future Trunks a location of New Namek, and what if Elder Guru unlocked Goku's power like he did with Gohan? Well,
right?
Yeah, it's like Goku should have said, Trunks, before I die, or Gohan, before I die, here is the location of New Namek. Let's go and fix this. When the time is right, use the Dragon Balls there. And then they could have sent Dr. Briefs off there to go there and liaise with the... Where was King Kai in all of this? King Kai was there. He just willingly just let this happen.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. Yeah, they could have just said, oh, yeah, King Kai with, and Goku would have been in the other world. He could have flown to Snake Way. Hey, King Kai, basically, this doesn't look too great. Hey, do you think you could help them as one last thing before I basically leave them alone? No. There you go. King Kai got lazy. Let's just say that. Alright. Okay. Next one is Jesse Goff. What if Raditz took Gohan pops up in chat lots? So here's my idea to spice it up. What if Gohan refuses to go back because Raditz feels an emotional need Goku can't? Oh, what? The 4-year-old can actually make a difference. It's that is not possible. Gohan does not want to return. Because Raditz gave him toys. That would be realistically the thing. Or gave him a really interesting book. Yeah. Because he's 4. He's 4 years old.
It would be kind of funny to, to tackle it from the point of Raditz, allowing him to do what he wants. Yeah, I can watch space cartoons whenever I want. I don't need to learn all the time,
Oh, true. That freedom could be quite tempting in a way. So Jesse, good qualifier. Nice. Okay. Lord Chaos, thank you very much for becoming a member. Thank you. All right. next one is... Oh, by the way, you can become a member by pressing join, but I actually have some new emojis. And one that you can actually get, quite one of my favorite ones, is of Smokey. Smokey emoji. And that's my cat, looking very annoyed. So you can get that by becoming a member. As well as several of my other face in that sense. Okay. Next one is Paparazza. What if Gohan accidentally launched himself to a freezer base, derailing the Raditz fight? So basically, if Gohan... Oh, in the ship. I don't know. Basically, if he did, then they wouldn't really know what he was, in that sense. They realize he's not a full Saiyan or anything like that. But maybe...
They would see Kaio. They would take him for a Saiyan.
Okay, well, they would either destroy him or basically indoctrinate him.
Or bring as a curiosity to Lord Frieza.
Maybe. It depends. It depends on what mood Frieza is at the time. John Coleman? Oh, sorry, go on.
He would make him a pet or kill him. Is easy as that, you know?
Yeah, okay. Paparazzi? Oh, no, we've done that. John Coleman. Alexander on behalf of Alexander. What if Goku was born as a half angel? It probably would have to be a secret because I don't think the GP would be very happy to see that existing.
And we don't even know if you can keep anything secret from GP, so...
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. But
unless it would be GP's half-child, which is also an option, but...
Yeah, but it would depend on what kind of half powers he got. Whether it's like all that strength or anything like that, or he's immortal and stuff like that. Or if he gets a cool staff, or if his skin's blue. It really depends. Ah, see what you did there. Todd Howard, what if Stans from JoJo replaced Ki? It would certainly be very interesting, but you'd have to have... And Toriyama would very much love the puns in terms of names. But it would really kind of depend on what kind of tactile thing you would go. But in a way, it would make Dragon Ball really, really dull, because you just have Goku and Frieza standing there. You know? And then they don't get to fight, unfortunately.
And now the only thing I can see are Ginyu's as Pillar Men.
Oh, yes, of course.
Awaken, my brothers!
Yeah. So, yeah. Bad Moon Rising. What if Broly was sent to Yardrat without his father? I think Pibara would have taken him in. Trained him up to be a pupil, like an honorary pupil, and actually calmed his mind, sensed some great conflict in him, and be able to settle his mind. And I think Broly could be really powerful and very mighty if he had focus, certainly. Very interesting. Like, Goku would be introduced to Broly much earlier. Yeah. He'd be just like, yes, I found another one of your kind. Loads of, introduce Broly.
He's our guardian.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Martin Plumley. Let's say Gine in her What If goes with Kakarot to keep an eye on him during Roshi's training. Does she survive Roshi for 8 months without going nuts? You know what? I think with Roshi, I think Gine's so pure and kind, I think he would actually show restraint. Like, and also, Roshi can be professional. Like, once he starts training properly with Goku, he actually, and with Krillin, he gets serious. Like, he teaches the boys discipline. So I feel like with Gine, she's really civil and kind and stuff like that. I don't think he would actually try and take advantage of the mother of his pupil. It wouldn't be professional. So I think probably, like, he'd be one of the few that would actually be striking. That would actually strike a chord more. Like, everyone goes, "Oh, Roshi's just a lech with every single woman, but not Gine." And he'd go say, "No, I am being very respectful." And then Gine says, and the truth of it is, he tried one time.
Yeah.
And he learned better. But yeah. Master Riku. What do we want? Time travel. When do we want it? Irrelevant.
Ha ha!
Oh, because it is kind of irrelevant now. Oh. Alright, Zusk. What if Vegeta was a girl? Would mean Tarbell is actually Prince Vegeta. They swap places. Fun stuff you could do with nature versus nurture. Really, we've had this one loads of times, but in terms of Vegeta's character, it wouldn't really make much of a difference, because a lot of his personality is based just on him as a character in general.
Also, like, we don't have no confirmation if, if Monarchy on Planet Vegeta is, patriarchic. So I think that King Vegeta the Third would like, okay, the girl is stronger, and Vegeta can work as both male and female name, really.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. And now we keep hearing certain things that basically sometimes that name can actually just be Vegeta. It's a title rather than an actual name. So that's always like an interesting little chestnut, as it were. But yeah, so that's certainly something to think about in that regard. Column. This isn't a what if, but in what if Vegeta never diffused? Couldn't Vegeta just use the multiform technique to be with Bulma and Chi-Chi? Does Vegeta know the multiform? I don't know, but in terms of like that, again, it's just not something I'm really interested in exploring in this what if and stuff like this. So I'm really kind of not really interested in going down that road because it's just a little bit inappropriate, or it's just something I'm not really interested in looking down because it's just like it's very fan servicey, and Toriyama's not really much for fan service. And I think you'd be a bit like not really savvy enough to be able to like fully explore it properly. But yeah, sorry about that, Colin. Master Riku, Vegeta sees his son wearing Goku's uniform in his own size. You are wearing his merchandise! Yeah, Vegeta would be very nettled in that sense.
We have a wonderful dubbing of that scene in Polish version, and I think it's even better.
Oh, you got to show me that sometime.
Yeah.
Alright, Red Dragon Force 2. What if Goku wished for a bag of endless space filled with muffins? Well, he would never need to eat again. Chi-Chi would be very much hurt. But he'd have to find that he'd have pocket muffins, but an infinite amount of pocket muffins. He'd probably stash some bacon in there too. You gotta mix it up sometimes. Red Dragon Force. Oh no, John Coleman. What if future Trunks didn't blow up King Cold's ship, and what if future Gohan went back instead of Trunks to save Goku? I think Gohan would have had a harder emotional time being able to keep his lid because he actually knows the characters and all the people from the past. He would have a much tougher time to be able to actually, not blow his cover in that sense. And then I feel like if Trunks didn't blow up the ship and there were some minions left around, they would probably just scatter and then try and find some way to be able to kind of rebuild or like be living in fear of Trunks.
They would probably either, go with Sorbet or Kikono and Berryblue because we don't have a confirmation that these people were a single faction.
No,
I always imagine that Berryblue and Kikono are different faction of remains of Frieza Force than Sorbet was. But...
No, that's true. Okay. Next one is Connor. What if Vegeta had an ingrown toenail?
I'm sorry, that's a new one.
Yeah, by the way, Leggy Smith's messages, I think it's because you're overusing the emojis. At the moment, YouTube, because Markiplier, I think, got his channel knocked down because, like, people were spamming emojis. So just cool on the emojis there, Leggy, just so you know. But an ingrown toenail, it would certainly make, he'd be in a lot of pain, and he'd probably actually go super, that would probably be enough to go into Super Saiyan. Because if he basically stubbed his toe with an ingrown toenail, that would be like, oh...
I'm sorry. That broke me.
Yeah, Harold had to mute his mic there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure Bulma could find him a good doctor that could fix that.
What, a Red Dragon? I don't know what's going on, but I basically showed his last message, so you know. Master Riku,
yeah.
What if Venom bonded with Goku? I imagine, well, if it was according to the new Venom movie, I imagine that he would basically, like, oh yes, we get the chance to be able to get loads of potential power. Oh, that smells lovely. We must have that food first.
Oh my god, this is like match made in heaven. I think I have mentioned it somewhere. We have something like this, but like the main food for symbiotes in the comics is adrenaline. and Goku likes the thrill of battle. This is
Oh.
a map.
Oh yeah,
And-
Venom would love Goku in that sense.
Yeah.
Alright. Vulcan, what if Tien and Launch had a son born a year after Gohan? What if Sharper turned good? Oh, that's it. And Videl with spirit control, good idea or not? Videl with spirit control, very good idea, certainly.
Very good idea.
If Sharper turned good, maybe would actually be a good partner for Irasa. So Irasa would have somebody and they'd be happy. And Irasa deserves to be happy. And if Tien and Launch had a son, probably he would try and teach his son the ways of martial arts, and then Launch would try and teach him to have a good time in that sense. So I think certainly along those lines.
The question would it be would it be one and a half flops, or a regular triclops, or regular twice?
I probably regular 2 eyes, or if it's Toriyama, he has only 1 eye.
Yeah, or a hidden third eye. Like in
So it's like a hidden one.
mysticism. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's true. Red Dragon Force on behalf of Tempest. He asked, what if Raditz and Launch got in trouble with the Galactic Patrol instead of joining it? Well, we kind of went over that basically. I imagine they would try and encourage Raditz to basically toe the line, but he basically would try, he'd only be working there for a day before he basically got fired. But, since he actually been helpful, they just let him go, but basically just said, just be careful, don't, overstep your boundaries. But then Raditz goes and does it anyway. So, yeah. Yeah, Nick Wolf, elaboration, give Trunks Roshi's Thunder Shock surprise technique. The opponent would be slowed down, stopped, and grade 3 would actually hit things. Oh, Thunder Shock surprise. Oh, I forgot about that.
Thunder Shock.
I think, because I remember Roshi using that in the tournament, I think. Something like that? Let me look it up again, because... Yeah, Thunder Shock surprise. It's in Dragon Ball Origins, I think, and Jackie Chun uses it against Goku. So he uses it in martial arts, and Piccolo has a version of it. And Goku Black even has it, apparently. In the manga. So it appears in the manga.
Interesting. How did Black?
Yeah,
Huh.
so in that sense, okay. No, I can see that why. Alright, cool. And Vulcan, what if Kuroda was in the Hercule What If? Gohan, Kuroda, and Videl's relationship? What if Gohan had a twin sister, and that's Kuroda, and would Gohan and Kuroda have the rage boost? Yeah, they might have, Kuroda might have the rage boost if that was the case of being a sister. And having that relationship, Kuroda might be just like the cool, fun-loving, more relaxed, Videl would be able to kind of get to what's Gohan like, and Kuroda could actually be a good wing person. Maybe.
Yeah.
So I think along those lines. So
yeah,
I think it could be harmonious. So yeah, cool. So with that, we are now all done with the what ifs for another week. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of your contributions, and basically just we are really, really pleased to be able to do this, and thank you so much for tuning in today instead of our usual Thursday. Haverock, have you got anything to say?
No, I just wanted to thank everyone and, wish everyone safe time.
Cool. Well, Tempest, you said, we're done for the week. And by the way, you recently graduated today. Oh, congratulations, Tempest. Yay! Awesome.
Yay!
Well done. Oh, that's a really good job. So, congratulations, Tempest. I hope you have a really successful, future. And here's to a great one. And here's to a great weekend for everybody here. Hope you're all safe and take care. And if you haven't get to see the Dragon Ball kart video today, do give that a look. And also tune in to What If a Hercule Trained Like Goku Part 7 coming out tomorrow. So until next time, guys, take care, and we shall see you very soon. So take care, everybody. Bye.